Welcome to the Thrive Mindset Podcast, where manifesting your dreams isn't magic, it's momentum. I'm your host, Carrie Dale, entrepreneur, author, and manifestation coach, and I'm here to help you stop holding yourself back and start building the life you've been craving. Each week, I'll share real stories, practical tools, and powerful mindset shifts to help you reframe the negative, embrace gratitude, and take aligned action toward your goals. If you're ready to up-level your life, your relationships, your success, then this is your place. Let's dive in. Hi guys, welcome back to the Thrive Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Carrie Dale, and today we're going to dive into something that hits every single one of us at some point. Why we keep attracting the wrong people into our lives. And I don't mean just romantic relationships, although yes, that too. I'm talking about friendships, business connections, collaborations, really any relationship that leaves you sitting there. Why am I here again? If you've ever had that moment where you're staring at the ceiling, wondering if you have that neon sign on your forehead that says, yes, please bring me chaos, you're here in the right place. This episode is your reset. Because today we're going to talk about why your patterns are repeating, even when you swear you're done doing it. How unhealed parts of us magnetize the same energy, why your standards matter more than your intentions, and how to shift your energy so you can finally call in the people, the love, the friendships, the collaborations who actually match what you're becoming. And because you know I never leave you hanging, you're going to walk away with some practical questions and some aligned actions, and really a gentle reminder that you don't have to be perfect to deserve amazing relationships. Let's jump in. Let's start with why you keep attracting the wrong people in the first place. And this is a hard one. We're just going to rip that Band-Aid right off. You attract people who match your identity, not your wish list. And that sucks. This is where the universe gets a little savage, because you can journal all day long about wanting someone emotionally healthy. But if you're walking around believing you have to earn love, you're going to attract people who make you do exactly that. They're going to make you earn them. And is that what you want? Because you can write down that you want a supportive friendship, but if you shrink yourself or overgive or stay quiet so that you're easy to be around, you're going to attract these friendships where you don't get supported because you're teaching people that you don't need it. You teach people how to treat you. And that's not judgment. That's just awareness. And awareness is freedom. I remember a time in my life where I kept attracting friends, and let's just be polite here, but they loved to take. They loved emotional support. They loved pep talks. They loved check-ins. They loved encouragement. Basically, they loved carry on demand. But when I needed something, suddenly everyone's phones were silent. And it wasn't that they were bad people. It was that I kept showing up like a walking emotional vending machine. And then I wondered why I always felt drained. And at one point, I caught myself journaling, why do I keep ending up with friends that don't feel mutual? And the answer was really staring right at me because I was treating myself like someone who didn't need anything. I was saying that I was the strong one, and that I was the helper. I was the one who didn't break. And that's the energy that I was putting out. I was teaching people that, right? I was teaching others that that's who I am. And that's who I was attracting. That's the people who were attracted to me. And that attracts people who are looking for someone who doesn't break. And that's exactly what I was getting. But that wasn't what I was wanting. And so I had to make that switch. I had to make the switch to say, yeah, I want to help people, but I also want to be supported too. I want it to be mutually beneficial. I want to have friendships that we help each other grow, that I can share my problems too, or I can share my struggles I can be open with. And no, I'm not great at that. I mean, my friends know that. I'm not very open with very many people. That's why I have a very limited pool of friends. But those that I am open with, well, it's magic for me. But I had to learn how to teach people and others how to treat me, because that's what you do. You do teach others how to treat you. Awareness is important, and awareness of how you want to be treated, and be aware of what you're attracting. And remember that you attract what you believe you deserve. And that's another hard truth, but that one's wrapped up in love, because we attract relationships at the level of our unhealed wounds. If you grew up trying to make yourself small, you may attract people who love you when you're small. If you learned you had to overachieve for acceptance, you might attract people who withhold affection until you earn it. But here's the beautiful part. The moment you heal the belief, those patterns break. Before Jeff and I got back together, like long before, I dated someone who was king of mixed signals. Like if there was a sport, an Olympic sport, for being hot and cold, he would have taken the gold. One minute he was telling me I was amazing. The next minute he was too busy to respond for 3 days, because, the earth might have stopped rotating if he sent a text. Well, not a text, because we weren't really texting back then, I guess, if he called. At the time, I kept thinking, if I could just show him how great I am. Imagine, right? The universe right then doing the biggest eye roll, because that wasn't what was needing to happen. Because it took me a while to realize it wasn't that he didn't see my worth. It was that I wasn't acting like I saw it. And when I shifted that, when I stopped entertaining anyone who didn't match who I was becoming, that's when I attracted who didn't make me question my value. In comes Jeff. That is powerful, right? When you attract the people into your world that you believe you deserve. That is really huge. And your energy, it's the invitation. And let's talk about energy real quick, because no, I don't mean in a woo-woo way. I mean in a practical way. Your energy is basically a giant. Now, your energy is basically a giant now accepting application sign. If your energy says, I'm afraid to be alone, you attract people who know you won't walk away. If your energy says, I don't trust myself, you attract people who confirm that. But if your energy says, I know who I am and I'm not accepting anything that costs me my peace, you attract the people who respect that boundary simply by existing. This applies to romance, friendships, clients, everything. People will rise or fall to meet that level of your self-respect.
This episode of the Thrive Mindset podcast is brought to you by the Scott Lewis Group at John L. Scott Real Estate. Buying or selling a home is more than just a transaction. It's your move. It's your next chapter. And we're here to make sure that your move is remarkable. We know this market inside and out, and we care deeply about helping you find more than just a house. We want you to find the place where your life truly thrives. Whether you're stepping into your first home, upgrading to something new, or starting something fresh, you deserve more than ordinary. With the Scott Lewis Group, it's your move. Buying or selling a home is more than just a transaction. It's your move. It's your next chapter. And we're here to make sure that your move is remarkable. We know this market inside and out, and we care deeply about helping you find more than just a house. We want you to find the place where your life truly thrives. Whether you're stepping into your first home, upgrading to something new, or starting something fresh, you deserve more than ordinary. With the Scott Lewis Group, it's your move. Let's make it remarkable.
All right, let's get into how, because you know me, I'm all about aligned practical steps. So number one, identify the pattern. Ask yourself, what keeps happening in my relationships that I don't want? Because patterns repeat until the lesson is learned. And look, you're not stuck, you're just in the middle of learning. And then ask yourself, what part of me chose that? This one stings a little, but it's powerful, not because you're to blame, but because you now have the power to choose differently. And then set a new standard and honor it, even when it's lonely. Your standards create your future relationships. If you want someone who shows up, you stop entertaining inconsistency. If you want friends who root for you, stop shrinking around people who get intimidated when you grow. And then become the energy you want to attract. If you want honesty, be honest yourself. If you want depth, stop entertaining shallow connections. And if you want someone emotionally available, well, you get the idea. Practice those micro shifts. Say no sooner. Communicate earlier. Walk away faster. Ask for what you need without apologizing. Because you don't attract what you beg for. You attract what you embody. And let me tell you about a moment in my life when everything shifted. I remember sitting at my Triple R retreat with Jeff years ago. The sun, the clarity, the quiet that pulls answers out of you, right? I was journaling about the kind of people I wanted in my life across the board. Friends, clients, collaborators, all of it. And I realized something huge. I had been manifesting relationships from the version of me who doubted herself, not the version of me I was becoming. So I drew a line in the sand, literally. I think we were on a beach. New energy, new standards. No more friendships where I walked away feeling drained. No more relationships where I had to prove anything. No more collaborations with people who didn't feel aligned. And the wildest thing happened. The right people started showing up. Clients, friends, connections, opportunities, all matching the energy of someone who finally knew her worth. And that's what I want for you. You deserve the relationships that feel like support, not exhaustion. Love that feels like partnership, not performance. Friendships that expand you, not drain you. You are not too much. You are not too needy. You are not expecting too much. You are simply learning to stop accepting too little. Patterns only repeat until you decide you're done with them. And the moment you shift, even slightly, the whole world shifts with you. All right, my friends, take a deep breath. You're calling in your people. You're calling in your person. And the universe, it's already rearranging things in your favor. And if you love this episode, share it, tag me, tell me your biggest aha moment, or just let me know you're doing the work. And until next time, remember that I believe in you, and you can manifest the life of your dreams.